Thank you for listening to STEPH Infection. If you like me this much and you're still listening, come see my ass live. For God's sakes, I'm doing a whole Filth Queen tour. I will be in Vegas. I'm at Wise Guys. Come see me October 20th to 21st. Then I'll be at San Diego, La Jolla, the Comedy Store, October 27th to 29th. And then guess what? I'm doing 3 little fucking theaters. And I really want you to come see me at these theaters. One night only at these places. I'll be at the Miracle Theater in Washington, November 10th. Brooklyn, New York, I'll be at, I'm at it somewhere. I can't think of the name right now, but I'm in New York on November 11th. God damn it. Then I'm going to be in Somerville, Boston. I'll be at the Crystal Ballroom on November 12th. Please come to those 3 fucking shows. And then my big goddamn show in Toronto, guys. It's 80% sold out. I really want to sell this fucker out. December 14th, fuck me up the ass. There's too many to read out loud. At the Danforth Music Hall, December 14th. Get tickets to that now. And then I'm on the road literally January to April. I'm booked, but we'll do those dates later. Please follow me on Instagram and find these dates and buy tickets. Thank you. Caraway is offering new members 30 days free if you go to caraway.health/Steph. There's no credit card required to try it. Get free and unlimited access to chat with their care team for 30 days. That's caraway.health/Steph for 30 days completely free. Caraway is available in select states. Go to caraway.health/Steph to learn more. Very excited for our guest today. Mike O'Brien, how are you?
I'm good, Steph. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming on. We've only, I think, said hello to each other very quickly in passing.
Yeah, I just saw you at the 50 First Jokes.
Yes.
Which is a super fun night where 50 comedians say their first joke of the year. It's like January 2nd or something.
Yeah.
So that's not a good time to talk and catch up while 50 people are doing bits around you.
Yeah, and here's a problem with that show. You're supposed to do what, 5 minutes?
I think it's...
3?
I think it's, like 2 or 3.
Some people get carried away. Some people get really carried away, and then I get quite annoyed. I think someone this year, I don't want to say who, but I believe it was close to 10 minutes, and I was timing, and I know the time because I was timing it. I always sit beside somebody who complains also with me, so then we time the comics and we have a laugh of who goes the longest. It wasn't you, because you wouldn't be here. I refused.
I went short. I was like... It really was one joke, and
but that's what's it's supposed to be.
I went before I got the light. You get the light at like 2 minutes, and then you have to leave by 3 minutes or something. And yeah, you want
it short and sweet. You want people wanting more, and especially we were in like the second batch, I think.
Yeah.
The second batch, they've already seen 25 comedians.
Yeah.
And it's never 50. They always add on more.
Yeah.
Then afterwards, everyone's flopping around the alleyway, and it's like, hello, how are you? And it's too much. I can't be, hello, how are you? But I was just saying, before we started recording, you used to be on SNL.
Yes.
Congratulations. I didn't really watch it a lot, so I can't quote exact things that you were in. Now I feel...
I can do my skits if you want.
Yeah, can you do them all for me right now?
Yeah.
How was that? Did you like that?
Yeah, I was there 6 years, so it was all sorts of ups and downs. But overall, I liked it a lot. I think I'm probably one of the most positive alumni you can meet.
Okay. Yeah, because you
most
do
people are very angry about it.
Yeah, most people are very like, it was very hard. I can't believe I got through it. And I was like, you seem quite pleased with it.
Yeah. It was very hard. I had a lot of good friends fired, and that was very sad. And I was scared of being fired for a year or two, but I got over that hump and had a good 4 years of not worrying about that, and then it can be really fun.
Yeah, I feel like, how old are you when you got into it?
I was probably like 32, 33.
Yeah, I think that's a good, because I got the classic email every year. As an alumni, do you get the email to come back? Do you get that audition email or no? Probably not.
No.
If you've done it, that's it. You've done it.
Yeah. They don't want me back.
I was like, I don't know how that works, but I get the classic every year, like, do you want to audition? And this is the first year in 16 years I didn't send anything in.
Oh, wow.
I've never had a live audition. I was like, at this point, I felt like I would have got one by now.
Yeah.
And if I haven't, I'm just too old now.
Who knows, really?
It's
kind of all over the place. They are obsessed with youth.
They obsessed with youth and just the idea of, I'm not saying like if I said something I was going to get it, but I'm like, the idea of like moving to New York and being they're up to so late that one night, 6 a.m. and then you're up and I can't be up at that hour.
Yeah, that was another way that I enjoyed it is after a while I was like, oh, what if I went to bed at midnight on Tuesdays? And I wonder if anyone would say anything. And like everything in that place, if you just start doing something, it's fine. There's never a thing with that. Yeah. So I started getting 8 hours of sleep on Tuesdays and I started telling everyone, I'm like, you can do that.
You can, because like I just saw who's been in town a lot. Marcelo's been here a lot, and I'm friends with Michael Longfellow. And I was just asking them about, it, and they were like, "Yeah, you're up till 6, then you sleep for a bit." And I was like, "I can't sleep for a bit."
Yeah, on a filthy couch often, because it's hard to go all the way home. To a lot of them live in Brooklyn now, and so they sleep on the floor and in popcorn. It's gross.
I can't be doing this, especially the popcorn. I didn't know the popcorn was involved. Now I'll never send you a tape. No, it's also, all my friends always do like the last minute tape where it's like you have a whole year and then the last minute they're like putting together these characters they just made up a day before. I'm like, nobody wants this.
Yeah, I don't know what happens with the tapes, to be honest. I don't know if anyone gets hired off those. I feel like just your like live shows or online presence has a better likelihood. One time I got accused by someone of having stolen a bit from his tape. And the lawyers reached out to me in the summer from NBC and they were like, did you ever see the tapes? I'm like, where are they? Is there a stack of DVDs?
Yeah, VHS is in a corner. How the fuck would you see these?
Yeah, and also the idea of being like, I can't think of anything this week. Let's go down to that closet, pull out those tapes, and
sit through how many? Like, how would you have found this one specific thing?
Yeah, the similarity was okay. I mean, I had that a kid was scared because Smash Mouth was in her closet and instead of a monster, and her mom,
which is way more scary.
Yeah, and her mom J-Lo explains to her that they're nothing to be afraid of. They're just guys from California trying to have fun, and they're a little annoying, but don't be scared. And the other person had the boogie monster in their closet, the submission, but like some 70s disco song called The Boogeyman or something. Okay. And instead of like a monster boogeyman, it was a disco song. And I'm like, there's a lot of I'm scared of something under the bed things.
Yeah,
But more than anything, I'm not watching your stupid fucking DVDs.
No. More than anything, yours is also way funnier, so you should have been like, don't compare if it's not funny.
Right.
Yeah, I got accused of taking this woman's tape from 1992 off YouTube that had 600 views. This character I do, Marcy, which is it's like a version of my stand-up. It's me I literally tell stand-up jokes in it as a character. And this woman came at me on Twitter and was like, this big actress, I can't remember her name, I think I screenshot somewhere, but she's like, this disgusting woman stole this one's character. And then I got fucking trolled. And I went to the video and I watched it. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm going to stop you here. You think I watched your YouTube video from 1992 with 600 views? I'm like, this is crazy. And then I like messaged this one guy who wouldn't leave me alone. I'm like, get me in contact with this person. It wasn't even the girl who shot the video. I'm like, let me talk to her. Why don't we do a collab video where I'm like, my long lost twin or something? It was the same like name. We both were like butch women named Marcy, and it was not the same. It was bizarre, but I stopped doing it. And now I'm doing it again because it turns out it was my best character and I went crazy viral with it. So guess what? Marcy's back, baby. Suck my ass. It's nowhere near the same. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a lot of that. People would reach out about like, I've been doing a talk show about kids in their basement doing a fake talk show, and you guys stole it from me or something. You're like, these are pretty general. Yeah,
didn't we all do that as kids too? What the hell are you talking about? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in a small town called Blissfield, Michigan.
Is that near Canada? Blissfield?
No, it's near Ohio.
Okay, you're down there.
Yeah. Where'd you grow up?
Toronto. That's why I was asking.
Oh, okay.
I used to go to Elma, Michigan every year.
Yep.
For the Highland Games.
It's 4 hours from Toronto. I know that because
it's not that
far. I worked in Toronto for 4 months on a show called Man Seeking Woman. Oh. And,
with Jay Baruchel?
Yeah. And my parents drove up to hang out from my house I grew up in, and it was like 4 hours, so it's pretty close.
Did you like Toronto?
Yeah, it was really fun. I was in Yorkville.
Oh.
And I was...
Oh, that's not a good area.
No, but I was...
hoity-toity.
That's what people... Yeah, they put us up in some like weird apartment thing. But I was on set for 12 hours a day mostly, so but on weekends it was fun.
There's other Canadians on that, wasn't there? Was there a lot of Canadians on that?
Yeah, there's like a tax break if it's all Canadian. So we had like every kid in the hall And the crew was all Canadian. Their hockey games on mute everywhere, and they were all talking about their toques.
Our toques and our 2-4s and our poutine. Classic.
Jay was big on how Canadians queue up. He always was talking about, he's like, no matter how famous you are, I saw Martin Short queue up in a bank once, and people were like, please go. And he said, I don't mind queuing up. And I both love the expression, and it was very Canadian to me to be really proud of long lines.
Yeah, that's insane that you want. Every kid in the hall, they're still out there doing stuff. I saw Scott Thompson actually the other day.
Yeah.
He's around.
He's the best. I did a show with him a year ago, maybe at Dynasty, and he immediately launched into a rant backstage that was so funny, and he's like so fired up and angry about a current comedian's tweet. And
I was like, I felt like I've heard him rant a lot on certain things he can't say on stage anymore, and he really likes. There's a certain word he really wants to say, and he did say it at lunch yesterday or 2 days ago for Canada Day. He said the F word quite loudly, and we were all like, "Oopsies, there are people having a nice maple bar over here," and he's like, I'm not gonna say it, but yeah.
He's got a really hilarious anger about like all that, like he's old man anger, because he has lived through a lot. He's like, he was in the only Canadian school shooting, an early one. Like he's like, Columbine was based on the one I was fucking in. And so he's been through a lot, and he's gonna yell about it, and it's pretty funny.
Did you watch Kids in the Hall growing up?
Oh yeah, I love them.
Yeah, that was like my main source of comedy. Yeah.
Were they in Toronto? Is that where they were shooting?
Yeah. So it was cool. It's very nostalgic to see like the background of stuff and stuff. Like, I know what that is. Then them do their little shit.
There was like in that opening, what they're driving by and everything. Mm-hmm. There was a 2-week period where Kevin McDonald wrote at SNL during my time. And I'm not positive, but I think maybe it was like for health insurance, which I thought was kind of cool that Lorne would still hook him up, or maybe for fun, but it definitely doesn't seem fun.
No, I didn't know he was on it, because what's his name? Mark McKinney, I thought, was on it at one point. Yeah.
I don't know if Kevin ever was, maybe way back when, but this was just like, Lorne produced Kids in the Hall, and so I think he still knows all them, and was just like, maybe he needed to get a writing credit to keep his insurance. I'm making that up, but I just don't know why else he would cram in. Looking over and seeing him sitting on the floor when we're all pitching in Lorne's office. Oh, God. There's a lot of crouching on the floor, and you're like, don't I have Kevin McDonald in this?
Why is he?
He can email his pitch in.
Yeah, he doesn't need to sit here cross-legged in the corner, covered in popcorn, I'm assuming.
Always.
I saw him at an airport, and it was probably the most uncomfortable conversation I've ever had with anybody in my life. Because I was like, I'm also Canadian comedian, thinking it would make him feel cool. And he was like, I'm just trying to eat my chips. And I was like, okay, all right, man. I'll let you finish your chips. And then it was so awkward because I just like stood close to him. It was very bizarre.
Oh, my
but usually,
God.
like I've met Mark before, and Scott and Bruce. Like they've all been, they're all like,
so nice.
Yeah, but
that's kind of shocking.
So
I also don't feel like he's getting harassed. Every
nobody
minute
else was recognizing who he was. I was like, no
comedy
one's ever
nerds
him.
love him.
Yeah,
but I feel like he's able to grocery shop probably and stuff. And he's like, please,
can I eat my fucking chips? Do you get recognized a lot?
No, it's a very specific. Do you know who the singer M. Ward is?
No.
I'm a big fan. He's great. And for some reason, at his concert a week ago at Hollywood Cemetery, I got recognized 4 times, but it was all for like 2009 stuff.
That's good though.
It just was a specific era.
One character that they all remembered, or is it like different?
There was a web series where I interviewed people in a closet called 7 Minutes in Heaven that had its moment in the 12 years ago range. But no, almost never.
Okay, then people like that though. Bring it back. Bring 7 Minutes and Thing back.
Yeah, I mean the whole idea was I would try to kiss the people at the end of the interview.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So that doesn't hold up anymore?
I don't know. It certainly, as I get older, it gets less cool. I think.
Men and women?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like if they knew the joke, though, you're not just doing it.
Oh yeah, they all
know. Okay. Yeah, well then. Well, then you're not you forcing.
And it's
but we also can't see that your dick and balls are out too.
Right, exactly.
That's where it gets weird. That's where they don't notice that part. The
that's a separate web series.
Yeah.
That's just below the waist. But
that's
same
the B footage.
Same interview. Yeah.
Same interview. Very strange that never makes it to air.
Yeah.
I get recognized sometimes, but it's like never by. It gets weird. It's not. Fans are weird.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
What do they say to you?
They just do like, oh my God. And then they'll say usually something really personal.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because of this or because my stand-up's I'm very gross. And so they'll right away be like, my boyfriend shit on me last week and it smeared everywhere. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, okay. Like right away, it's like a very bizarre.
Yeah.
Or I got this at Target. I think I mentioned this before. I was so embarrassed. I wasn't wearing any makeup. And this guy's like, hey, oh, sorry. I thought you were somebody else. And I was like, okay. Well, he's like, you look a lot. I'm like, I'm just not wearing makeup. Yes, I am that stand-up comedian. Like, I'm not like a fucking ghoul without makeup on.
You can't be the same person. You don't have a black liner on your eyes. Yeah, you don't have liner
on your eyes. I don't know who you are. I'm like, I'm never not wearing makeup again. Well, let's get into your body stuff then, because Meg told me that you have you've talked about your body stuff on stage, was it? No, or maybe not. No, I'm just lying.
I mean,
But she's mentioned that you have some stuff.
Yeah, I have issues.
I want to get into the issues. I love the issues. Do. That's why I was covered in hives yesterday.
With knives?
Hives. And knives.
Hives.
Yeah, no, I tried. Yeah, it's a weird thing. I try to cut them out. They don't come off.
I definitely am a hypochondriac, and in fact, I have to always have one that I'm really obsessing over in a 10 out of 10 anxiety way, and I think I'm going to die from it.
No.
And I don't know, but I think it lasts about 3 weeks or so, because I never notice when that one's gone and I've got a new one.
Okay.
But it's always one at a time. It'll be like a for sure lump in my back that this is one I really went to the doctor for, and I was like, it's cancer. Mm-hmm. Just give me chemo. I don't even bother with the test.
Let's go right to the box.
Yeah.
Chemo's in a box.
And it just went away. I mean, I think it's, I read a book that it was like you put your anxiety into that because then you have a known thing to be worried about instead of the unknownness of failure and death and these abstract things. But even after reading that, I still do it.
Oh yeah, no. So what do you have one currently right now that you're obsessed with?
Yeah, it's winding down, but I've been positive that I slipped a disc in my spine and that a piece of my spine is off to the left at the base of my neck.
Sorry that I'm laughing.
It's so good because it's when you say them out loud, that helps them go away. Because they're so dumb, but you think about it quietly. Like, I think I just pulled a muscle or something.
Like right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm only laughing because I'm relating to this so fucking hard. At least once a month, one of my moles is cancerous. It's changed color.
Yeah.
I have something in my nipple. I have something in my asshole. There's always something going on.
Yeah.
And then I'm ill. And then when I really think about my organs for a long time, I'm like, what are they doing in there? And then I'm like, something's wrong with one of them for sure. And then if I drink too much, well, drinking's a separate thing, but.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to our sponsor, Caraway Health. Have you ever gone onto WebMD to look up why you might have a headache and convince yourself that you're dying and you have cancer and it's the end of your life, and then go down an even further rabbit hole because you find another weird ailment that comes up that you think and you have a huge panic attack? Guess what? Most of the guests on my podcast have this. And here's the thing. You don't have to go through this. Don't panic. Talk to a real doctor instead right away with Caraway. That's what this whole app is here for. You start having a panic attack, any hour of any day, there is a doctor ready to talk to you, ready to give you an actual diagnosis. Not you asking your best friend Becky, who read one article once. No. Talk to Caraway, a real doctor, right away. Membership starts at less than $25 a month when you select an annual membership. That's less than a copay at urgent care. All the care you receive from Caraway is covered by your membership fee, including therapy sessions. And if you need labs, in-person care, or prescriptions, your team can coordinate with your doctor outside of Caraway and even help you navigate insurance questions. I'm telling you right now, Caraway Health is the way to go. If you're panicked, even if you have health insurance, it's not a lot of money. And if you're in a full-blown panic attack like I was, a doctor literally talks to me within 5 seconds. Please use Caraway Health. If you don't have good health insurance, if you just moved to America, you don't have anything set up yet, or if you literally... You can't, what are you going to call Kaiser Permanente at 3 a.m.? You're not going to go to emergency. It's crazy. Download Caraway right now. Caraway is offering new members 30 days completely free if you go to caraway.health/Steph. There's no credit card required to try it. Get free and unlimited access to chat with their care team for 30 days. That's CARAWAY.health/Steph for 30 days completely free. Caraway is available in select states. So go to caraway.health/Steph to learn more. So what was the one before the neck thing? So the lump. So here's the thing. When you have go crazy with these things, do you always go see the doctor, or sometimes you let them go away?
I usually don't, because it's so embarrassing to always be like, they have the chart. They're like, so they're looking. They're like, this is the guy with the cancer lump. That how's that going? That went away.
Yeah.
First time cancer just went away like that. So. Yeah, I tried not to because it's too humiliating. It's the same doctor I have to keep going to.
Oh, that.
Because I don't trust urgent care.
No.
I mean, for a little thing, but I don't remember the one before this, but there's just always one. It's yeah. And then I have fun stuff that's happened to me stories.
Okay. What
Should we dive in?
Let's dive in.
Okay.
Let's dive in.
Well, this one, fun isn't the word. I already messed up. But this was, my face scar is melanoma, skin cancer from like 6 years ago or something. And there's fun stories around it. It was just a little red dot that I thought was like a pimple or something. And my friend Shelly was like, I think that's cancer. She was doing for me what I do internally normally.
Yeah. So this makes sense why you're worried that you have things, because you already had something, for fuck's sake. It's not you've had nothing.
Yeah. But I didn't think that one was anything, but it was.
So one red dot.
Yeah.
And you saw it one day out of nowhere, or it kind of like.
It was there for like weeks.
Okay.
And so they were like, that's melanoma. We're going to take it out as much as we can without messing up your eyelid, and then take out a lymph node out of your neck to see if it's headed down towards your lungs.
Oh, God.
So, but I was laying there and the doctor was about to do it, and he was like, so the incision's going to be like, and he took his finger and he dragged it as my scar is all the way across my face and down by my earlobe. And I was like, what? Why? And then
wait a second. Why wasn't this also mentioned prior to the going in my face?
I'm for sure he may have said something along, but it wasn't until I saw him drag it all around his face, and then I said a super embarrassing thing because my friends were there. I said, "I'm an actor."
This will ruin me.
Right.
But that's fucking why?
I don't
that
play
small?
any hunks though, because it's close to the eye. For some reason, they had to flap down my whole face.
Flap down the whole face.
Yeah, and so they did it, and a week later, they're like, we didn't get to the edges, so they had to do the whole thing again.
No.
And
when it was already still open,
bummed.
so they had to just go back in,
it was
reopen
stitches, yeah, that they were going to cut and go extend the ends a little bit further. I was so upset about it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it sucked. And then, but there's a good humiliation during that. I got a guy comes up and to do the IV and starts smacking my back of my hand really hard, which I hate.
What?
And
did they normally smack it?
To get a vein, yeah.
Like that hard? I thought they just kind of looked around.
Well, this guy, it was explained by another guy standing over his shoulder, and he said, "And look for the vein." And I was like, God damn it, I got a student driver. and so he like poked, it didn't work. He starts smacking again, and I just started to get really like lightheaded. And he got the IV in, and my go-to is diarrhea. As soon as like something's a problem, I have diarrhea. So I had immediate diarrhea.
Sitting there while the IV is going in.
Oh, well, it was in, and I was like, I have to go right now. So I just found a nurse, and I was like, I have to go to the bathroom right now. And she's like, this way. And so I just had to hop out of bed and start following her. And I laid down on the dirty tiles, kind of passed out, but I truly just was like, I have to lower myself down now. And she yelled at me. Of course, she's like, you got to tell me you need a wheelchair. I'm like, yeah, my bad. I'm laying in a gown with my like...
Ass is fully out.
Ass out, penis against tile. And
IV still in?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I think I had a wheelie thing. And,
oh God.
And so then she got a wheelchair, still pissed at me, and took me to... The only bathrooms back by surgery was just a tiny little, just bigger than a toilet walled room that she then stood crossed arms outside of while I had my diarrhea. The whole day was like the most shameful low. I always say that when I was laying on the tiles, I said, I used to be on TV.
I used to be on SNL. Penis just cold and shriveled on the tile. Was the door open while you shit?
No.
Okay. I was oh my God.
It was like the closest a person's ever been to me while I'm shitting.
Okay, so she heard the whole thing.
There was a door between us, but she was within a foot of me.
I can't believe you held in the diarrhea after you were lying on the tile.
Yeah.
I feel like it would have slipped out. I also wanted you to say that happened. You're lying down and your ass is out and just shit's coming out of your bare ass.
And then I say, have you guys ever heard of SNL?
Lorne Michaels used to like me.
He wouldn't like me now because I'm shitting all over this room.
Oh my God.
With like 100 people in it.
So 100 people were sitting there when you were
Well, yeah, it was all these other beds. It was some kind of pre-op room. It was a nightmare.
So you finish shitting, then you go back, then surgery after the shit?
Yeah. Then I went back, and as soon as I went back, they were all like, "This is the guy who was like laying there, and he's clearly having panic attacks." And they put something in my IV right away that I passed out before, because I remember being wheeled in the first time. The second time they were like, "Knock him out, This guy's in trouble. He's gonna shit all over this room.
He's got a lump somewhere too. Let's get him asleep right away."
Yeah.
Okay, so they go in. Okay, wait, I'm still on this whole removing thing. So how big are we talking when it was? Just
like a pimple, like a...
That small. So yeah. I'm confused why they had to go in and flop, because it was that deep in there?
It was that they didn't want to go up at all, because that would, then they're like, then we got to get an eyelid guy.
Oh God.
Because, and they're like, and your eye could be messed up forever. So in their mind, it was much better to have this like 7-inch huge scar than an eye that like droops or whatever.
Okay. So they take it out and they test the thyroid, and was there
nothing there? So that was all good. And then it was just, they were like, they have to see a 360 edge around it of no cancer, and they didn't. So they had to go and do the same thing again. I was so mad. I also thought the doctor wasn't friendly, and he seemed unimpressed by me saying, "I'm an actor, you can't cut my face." So I was like, that guy didn't do a good job because he's mean. Which that logic doesn't, like, no, really nice doctors doesn't mean they're better at cutting flesh. But he was kind of a dick. So I was like, he did it, not on purpose, but I just think he's bad at his job. I thought he was probably like hungover or mad at his family or something.
I honestly did not notice it until you just mentioned the scar, because it goes along with your lines of your face, kind of like you're smiling.
Yeah, he's real proud of that. Yeah. He was like, it's gonna go with your smile lines. And
did he say that?
Yeah, they were like, that's part of why we're going doing up at this part or something. I was like, Jesus, you're just.
So that came out? Was there like melanoma in your family or something? Or was just like a random?
Yeah. No, it's not random. We all get it.
Okay.
Both because we're pale and Irish, and I think maybe I blame all of our health things on the fact that I think there's so much incest in Ireland. Certainly, like 500 years ago, I think it was probably just like everyone fucking their cousin. They're all like towns. There's every town that like we're from are like 200 people, and it's been around for like 5,000 years. Mm-hmm. You're like, it's fine, but
they've all fingered a cousin at some point.
Yeah, at least. Yeah, you're a dork if you don't.
Yeah, you're a fucking loser if you haven't fingered your cousin. I have melanoma. My grandma had it in her arm and then in her nose, and then
you have had it?
No, my grandma had it. In her, but I used to be like baking in the sun as a child. Like we just lived outside, like just constantly outside.
Yeah,
so.
I just. So recently, growing up in the 80s and 90s, my sisters were lifeguards. Like, are you nuts? And I would mow lawns for the summer, and none of us would wear. I mean, my mom would be like, "Wear sunscreen, please," and we were like, "Shut up,
you bitch! You fingered your cousin. That's why I'm here."
Yeah, my mom always was fingering her cousin.
Yeah.
So dumb.
So is that what people should look for then? Just like a red dot? Because now I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm about to go home and I'm gonna get my mirror and I'm gonna check my entire body for a little red dot. That's what's gonna happen after this podcast.
Well, yeah. I just go. I mean, for most of my adult life, but especially since then, I go every 6 months to the dermatologist and have him do the full. He always says frog legs, and you
have to open your.
Well, you put your feet together and then open your legs, and no, it's just kind of to look around under the nutsies and stuff. Okay. But it always sucks because he's always like, "You working on any shows or what's going on? Doing any stand up? Frog leg."
Lifts up your balls.
Yeah.
You're like, no, I'm gonna be at Dynasty next weekend at the 7 p.m. show if you want to get some tickets. Okay, I thought it was only where sun touched, so it can be under the, unless you were. your nuts were out a lot in the summer. I don't know
They
what
weren't,
you did.
but yeah, they check everywhere. I think it is. I always wondered about that too. I'm like, I don't feel like it could be there. One time, I worked at a hospital as a day job, just like a research assistant, but I knew a doctor, and he was checking me, which already I shouldn't have done, but it was just a physical. But he was like, are you also working with Dr. So-and-so? And I don't know why I'm leaving this out. These people, they're like, oh, he mentioned me. We'll call her Dr. Smith.
Yeah.
And how's she doing? How's that research going and everything? And he said, all right, well, let's get you all checked out, make sure everything's fine. If you can strip down, put down this gown. And I said, underwear too? Like a fucking idiot. Just do it or don't. He goes, your choice. And then he came, so I was like, well, I guess if it's up to me, I should leave it on. But that made it that he had to do the nut check by going down my pants, and it was worse.
Why didn't you just say take it off then? That's his fault. Why would you say that? That's so creepy. Ew.
Because he was like trying to be Mr. Chill. We were just talking about like baseball and work and stuff, and he's like, up to you. And I'm like, all right, I'll leave them on so you can kind of wiggle your fingers a little down the elastic.
Did he have to hold it out with one hand or just slip it down?
He kind of just
wiggled
it.
I hate the wiggle.
Yeah.
Ew. Can you imagine you did a female doctor did that to you? I'd be a male. I would call the police if a man did that. You have male doctors.
Yeah, I do. Do you have all female?
Yes. I don't want to.
I feel like you can request that.
I request. I make sure it's a goddamn woman. I'm like, I don't want a fucking man leafing through my labia down there, just really having a look-see. It's disgusting.
There must be a lot of male gynecologists.
There are, and they should go to hell. Honest to God, I would not trust. I can't. It grosses me out.
So there must be enough of a demand. There must be a ton of women who don't care.
I don't think so. I think most women...
they're just like mostly open. They get like one appointment a day, and otherwise they're just on their phones.
Yeah, literally. I feel like men should check men and women should check women.
Yeah.
And now there's going to be some outrage over me saying this on this podcast. People be pissed off. But I'm like, I feel like it's just, they know what more... And I've heard of stuff, and I've watched too much porn, and the doctors and the fingering and he's eating her out. It's too much.
Yeah.
Maybe it's my fault for watching too much porn.
Especially like doctor porn.
Yeah, I don't know why I watched. I literally saw one the other day where it's like doctor and patient, and then the nurse was like marking things down. I'm like, what is wrong with her? This doesn't make any sense. I watch too much porn. I have a problem.
I like when the fact that you have to choose at a masseuse is always uncomfortable to me because. I'm usually like either, and they're like, well, we have both available. And I'm like, I guess a woman, but I don't care.
And then they're both standing there, and they're like, pick which one.
You're like, oh, you're a perv. I'm like, no, fine, man, I don't care.
Where do you go to get massages? I should go to Thai Town somewhere. I want someone to just crack me open.
I use a app called Soothe where they come to your home, and it's great.
Oh. And then you're like, only women in my house. That's even creepier.
It sucks. I really make sure like every third time I get a man. Just because I'm picturing someone is monitoring that, and they're like, that's 12 in a row. That fucking creep.
Why is it every hour of every day? This guy's sick in the fuck. I have my personal trainer who I am also trying to fuck. I have not yet, but I am trying. He massages me at the end of his workouts, and I'll tell you what, not a professional masseuse. I don't think he knows what he's doing. He cracks them today. I was like, now I got a disc out of place because he was moving something around back there. Okay.
He shouldn't be taking swings at cracking you.
He shouldn't be. He's back there. He has his elbows in. I'm like, let's just stick to the training. Let's do one thing.
And then is some of the crush that?
No, most of the crush is that he's just very attractive, and I know this is so sick, but I think it'd be funny to fuck him. Like, I just think I can have some good material. Yeah. Fucking my trainer is the funniest thing, and it's so LA. I want to do it so badly. And also my ex, when we first started dating, he would go to the same gym, and he hated him because he thought I liked him, and now I have to fuck him because of that.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
I was trying to put together a stand-up joke that I'll just burn here because I couldn't get it, and I think it's creepy. I think the audience would hate me for it. So I'll let this audience hate me. It was something about trying to construct every element of I'm single, but you can construct every part of a relationship through business transactions. Like if you're missing the argument part is like you call Spectrum. I'm always fighting with like Spectrum or someone. So you can get a little argument in if you need that part. And then I was going to get to like a masseuse for physical contact, but I really meant that like sometimes as a single person, especially during the pandemic, I won't touch another human for like weeks.
Yeah.
And you're like, and then if you get a massage, you're like, oh, it's nice just to have someone's hand on my shoulder. But of course, you can't do it without people being like, oh, and then you come.
Disgusting.
I'm like,
you disgusting sick pig. I think you can still do that. You can burn it on here and still do it.
Yeah,
I also just want to fuck somebody who will give me like tips on, like who like also like comment on my forum. I guess while we're fucking. So that's why I wanted to, and I asked
give
him
you tips on sex. And
yeah,
stuff?
But like pinch your shoulders and like arch your back. Like he's still giving me like workout tips.
Do you think? Oh, I see.
Yeah,
see.
workout tips. He's still like trying. He's like making me do crunches while I'm sucking his dick. Or
Can I show you some?
Yeah.
Can I show you something real quick? Put your leg here.
Yeah. But he's like, he also was he wants to do this podcast. Very cocky man. Oh yeah, he wants to come on here. He's like, because his name is Law, and he has everything is like. You know, it licks his lips a lot. He's like, I change people's lives. And no, it's hilarious. I might put him on here once after I talk to him.
I mean, do you know if he's married or?
No, he's not. He has several baby mamas. He tells me about them. He tells me about all the women he has. Yeah.
It sounds like you guys are going to have sex.
I'm really, yeah. No. I want, but the thing is too, now that I'm like, I can definitely go back to training normally, and I think he can too. But I'm like, it's fun, whatever it is now we're doing. This long game flirt is kind of fun.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then I just got tested, so I have hypochondria. I think I have AIDS all the time. So it's like a problem since I've been younger, so I constantly think I have AIDS. I don't have AIDS. I got tested again recently.
Congrats.
Like, yeah. So it's like, so I'm like, I don't know what I saw an ex of mine years ago, and we kind of fooled around when I first moved out here, and I saw him recently, and he lost like probably 45 pounds, and he wasn't that big to begin with. And I was with my friend, and she's like, "What's wrong with him?" I was like, "I don't know." She's like, "AIDS," and I was like, and then I got so fucked up. I was like, "Does he have AIDS?" And then I'm like, why? Don't get that in my head.
Yeah.
I know you can live with AIDS. I've openly talked about this a bunch. I'm not like shaming people with AIDS. It's for some reason one thing that just fucks me up.
Yeah, I remember distinctly when I lost my virginity, like a hellish 2 months of being like, I probably have AIDS. And the other thing I was watching for counting the months to see if she would be pregnant. I was like, I think she starts showing around 5 or 6 months.
Oh my God.
I don't know why in that scenario, like we weren't dating, but we were friends and everything. And I think she would have told me, but I'm like, no, I'm going to have to spot it. And I'll be like, I'm so sorry. I'll be there. I'll fucking be there for that kid.
AIDS and all. I will be there for that kid.
I'm there for her AIDS baby.
How old were you when you lost your virginity?
18.
Okay, yeah. I was 19. I feel like I was older. Yeah. It's nice to be older.
But just whatever Catholic upbringing or something. I just had an awful 2 months afterwards instead of being like, that was nice. And
why can't I just
a healthy
enjoy
part
that?
of human existence.
Every time I'll fuck a guy without a condom, I'll ask. In my head, when you ask somebody if they have AIDS, they have to legally tell you they do or not.
Yeah, it's like, are you a cop?
Yeah, I don't know why in my head it's drilled that that's a legal thing. So I'll ask somebody.
Actually, to be honest, it might be a thing people wouldn't want to be forthcoming about.
Yeah. When I think about it, they probably don't have to tell me it's their life and their decision and it's their fucking business. But then I'll fuck without a condom, and then I'll be so fucked up. I'll be so fucked up and every one of my friends is like, I actually can't listen to you do this because this is all you do every fucking time. So I literally just got fully tested because I had sex with a guy without a condom like last week, and I was like, I had to do all this again.
Yeah.
They all came back negative, and we love to see the negative test. I get off on the negative test.
Yeah, it's nice.
I'm like, now I gotta fuck somebody else.
Yeah.
Now I gotta make sure I'm not clean anymore.
I like that your friends won't help you anymore.
No, I know, because it's so annoying. Do your friends get annoyed by you talking about your stuff all the time?
I don't talk about it a lot, and I probably should, because like the minute I said that I have a slip disc and you laughed, I was like, oh yeah, I probably don't. So I should be.
I think a slip disc you can really notice though. Especially if it was in the neck. You wouldn't be able to be sitting here normally right now. You'd be fucked up.
Right. Yeah,
I think so. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. I don't know why I'm telling you this.
Find a new one. Yeah.
I'll have to find a new one. Do you Google things and get yourself all fucked up too?
No, because that's the worst. Although, no, sometimes it's good because it'll be like, it should be bad. You should be screaming or something, or blood should be pouring out your eyes, and you're like, well, I don't have that. So, but it always does say, but it could be cancer. It always says, because they're like covering their.
Yeah, they're covering their cancer tracks.
I don't know if you can sue Google searches, but they're like, we're not getting sued for this. So just say, and it might be cancer.
Yeah. I do that with my dog all the time, so she always says something wrong with her, and I took her to a pool the other day, and she drank Mostly the whole pool. She sucked back the entire fucking pool. And she didn't shit or anything. She just peed a lot. And I got home and Googled it. And it's like, of course, chlorine poisoning, your dog could die. And I'm like, so now I've just been staring at her for the last fucking 3 days. She's totally fine.
Yeah. It's so
too much.
scary.
I'm not reading it.
Worst story you've ever heard. What's the worst thing you've ever heard? Oh yeah.
My favorite question of the pod. What's the worst body thing you've ever heard? Something that's haunted you.
Oh gosh. I had all I prepared was more about me. Let me think.
No, this could be something that could like you read or heard or someone told you, like an old wives' tale, something that like really fucks you up. Yeah.
I've got one that me and my friend made up.
Okay, let's hear that.
I'll buy time with that and try to think of a real one. But we used to talk about what if instead of coming semen, you came like a little kind of like pill-sized nugget of a thing that screams until you burn it. So it's screaming and it's piercing your ears, and you got to be like, give me a fucking lighter, and then you burn it to death.
Was that on SNL? Is this one of the sketches I didn't get in?
No, it was in the Second City touring van with Tim Baltz.
Oh my God, that's so insane. How big? Just a small thing?
Like an extra strength Tylenol.
Okay.
But it's like, and you're like, God damn, kill it.
But what happened if you came inside somebody? Would you hear it screaming in there?
That's a good question. How would you kill it?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
We didn't even get that. We were just always picturing that you just come on a table that you've got like lots of lighters around because it's gonna be.
If you do it, you gotta be lined up correctly. You're right in an ashtray. It's ready to go.
Right.
Okay.
So I did hear that when we said it.
When you said it out loud, and that. Yeah, that's one that's interesting. I could definitely say that. Second City touring company. I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, I did. IO in Second City in Chicago for a long time.
Okay.
What?
I massaged one person at my Second City audition, and it made her so uncomfortable that they yelled, "That's enough of that scene. Let's move on to the next one." And I never got a call back, or did Second City my entire life after that. Because they're like, "All right, scene one," and I went right in. This girl sat down. And I was like, "Oh yeah, and I felt her go like, in the chair, and I was like too into the character. And I remember it was Cary Griffin. It was my old Second City teacher. And I remember he was like, "All right, Stephanie, that's good on that one." I was like, "I've made a huge mistake here. I'm never coming back."
There's a friend of mine was a teacher in a class. He's a guy, and it's
good description. He's
it's
a guy.
needed for the story.
Yeah.
And someone like in a scene wouldn't let the other person hug them, and he was like, "Okay, well let's talk about it," because and it was this girl who was like, "I don't want to hug," and she was like stopping the scene, and the person was like, "I'm your mom" or whatever, and
I'm your mom, but I'm a man. I mean, hug me,
right?
Hug me now.
And my friend got on stage and was talking with everyone and was like, to be fair, we always have to be really respectful about each other's bodies and everything. But in improv, you may have a little bit of hug, handhold. You might have to lift someone up at some point, but never anything that's like unsafe. But like, say I could do this, and he like put his hand on her shoulder, and she started crying and ran out, and then he was like, "Oh no, I'm dead."
Oh my God. But also, I mean, if you're going to take improv, you might have to go to therapy if that's something that's...
Yeah.
Improv isn't the solution for you not wanting to be touched. Improv is very touchy.
Yeah. And then if you're in improv and listening, you shouldn't be getting your butt grabbed by that teammate over and over. Like if that's happening, that's not all part of the fun.
No. The butt grabbing and tit grabbing, there should be no groping.
Right.
But a shoulder touch or
an occasional hug. You can make your character that they do a very stiff, cold hug.
Yeah.
Just keep playing those people.
That's it. I started in improv. I did. I was with 4 girls.
In Chicago?
No, in Toronto.
Oh, right.
4 girls in Toronto, and then I was on like another couple teams with some other people. But I loved it.
Did you overlap with Lauren Ash?
No, but I'm friends with her. You know Lauren Ash?
Yeah, she was on main stage with me in Chicago after she'd done Toronto.
Oh, that's so fun.
And she's great. Yeah.
She's the best. She has a single out right now.
Yeah, I heard.
Yes, it's great. She's there's a big thing on the 101, the Santa Monica Western entrance. You can see her on the billboard.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Super cool.
Is it a whole album?
I think so. I think she's, yeah. I'm taking my first drumming lesson next Saturday, and I was gonna like jokingly
Wow.
tell her if I get good, I can be your drummer.
Yeah.
I was like, that'd be fun. She doesn't know any of this yet because I haven't taken a single class yet, and I'm not.
But
in my
you
head,
got the gig
I'm gonna be
lined up.
good.
Yeah.
I don't get cocky about a
So-
lot of things. I don't know why. I think like improv, I wasn't good at, but my friends made me do it because I had fun. But drumming,
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna be good.
Yeah, I believe it. So what are some of the, do you have any new ones you've heard that you haven't said on the podcast of the craziest thing? I assume you've done hundreds or whatever.
Tick on the dick. We have we have a
that's
story
bad.
though. Meg sent in a story. So this was someone sent this in today, correct? Or last week? It was a while back. Okay, yeah, I'm bad. People send in stories. I'm bad at reading them because I also can't read. So there's that. And why isn't it letting me? Yes, because she says the nice things at the beginning. Thank you for saying nice things. Okay. So listening to every single podcast and hearing everyone's disgusting stories. I can't read or she can't read. I thought your podcast deserves to hear mine. When I was about 1989, I was playing at a playground on one of those completely rusted swing sets. We know where this is going. Yeah, the ones you swing too high and they come off the ground. I don't remember living in the ghetto, but now that I think of it, maybe I did. Well, after swinging for hours, I saw one of the other swing sets were broken. Swing seat sets? I can't read. The seat on one of the swings is broken, and there's a rusty chain hanging from the top of the swing set. So dumbass 8-year-old nerdball Pamela, I guess that's her, thought it would be a good idea to climb on the chain to reach the top. Well, I made it all the way and was holding the chain with my inner thighs. What I did not see was that the chain link was coming apart and almost created what looked like a rusty metal hook. Once I made it to the top, I was sweating like a pig and thought it would be easier to slide down the chain like a fireman's stripper pole. Yeah, well, my thigh literally got hooked on the broken piece of the chain and my inner thigh was practically ripped open. I remember hanging there for about 5 seconds. Oh my God. And then my grip gave out and I fell to the ground. Without an 8, what is it? I fell to the ground with an 8-inch rip, oh my God, on my inner thigh and literally inches from my puss. Rushed to urgent care, not even a hospital. Ghetto again with questionable parents. They glued me shut. And to this day, I have that scar that very few have seen. Come back to Philly, Pamela. Oh my
That was in Saw.
God.
That's from Saw.
Hanging, the dangling, first of all, the rusty, have you ever stepped on a rusty nail?
Not lately.
Okay.
I don't like maybe.
But like at some point in your life, I think most kids have stepped on a
Probably,
rusty
yeah.
nail. You get that. So not only tetanus.
Yeah.
There could be blood poisoning from that rust in there.
Right.
Like that thing is not clean.
It's
hanging
so
from that
gross.
thing.
Yeah.
And that inner thigh, that's all like fat. I know a girl that once wiped out off a tube, and she was by like a water tube.
Yeah.
And she was by a floating dock, and she skidded across the water. And she sliced, like she hit the dock and like cut that. But this part of your leg is all fat.
Yeah.
So she looked down, it was just like fat. Like you can't even tell what it is because this is white.
And there's
fucking
like
flat.
an artery or two in there that you die if you cut.
I guess.
Yeah,
No. So she got lucky of hanging off that. Oh my fucking God.
I thought of a
You got a story
real
now?
one.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, even though I did like your answer the first time.
I need to, I should probably mention that isn't real, guys. Don't worry. The part about burning them, you don't have to burn them. They get tired.
Yeah, they get tired. They stop screaming eventually. Yeah. You can hush them.
Yeah. So when I was a research assistant in Chicago at the hospital, we would interview people over 65 about their leg pain. But there was, it was like a 3-hour session of questions, and you'd ask them all sorts of stuff, and then they'd also offer a lot. These older people who just wanted to talk to you, and so even beyond the questionnaire, you'd get to know everything about them. Another thing they always did is we'd say, take off your socks and shoes. I'll be right back in, and we would go get stuff ready for the visit, and you'd come back and they were always laying on top of the bed naked. They just they're always
Like,
older people are like, just do whatever to me. But we would go to home visits if they didn't want to come back for their yearly thing, and we wanted to keep getting info. And so me and this other assistant were in this guy's home, and we were like, and have you been hospitalized at all since we last interviewed you? And he was like, well, I didn't go overnight, but I was taken in. And we were like, okay, what happened? And he said, well, I was pooping, and the poop came halfway out, and I wasn't able to pinch it with my butt, and I had to call 911. And then we were like, what? There's so many questions we always talked about that, like, did they cut it before they went in the ambulance, or
was
did
it
they
poop half in, half out?
half in, half out? They just kind of
How
put a
big was
sheet
his
over
poop?
it.
Yeah, how big was this turd?
I don't know. And how weak is his butt?
But how can you not just sit there for wouldn't it
10
come
more minutes,
out?
yeah.
Or what if you pull it out?
Yeah. Before calling
ew.
911, I would do any of that.
I would do so many things before being like, I have a turd that you're all gonna see.
Yeah.
That would stink.
You need to kick
just
down
a
the
poo
door.
ball out.
Yeah.
And then him just like lying on his stomach. Take me and my turd.
It's over there.
He's back there and I can't get rid of him. Oh my God. That's grossing me out in a way that I didn't think it
upsetting.
would.
And for some reason, I have a memory of like his kitchen countertop had like a sea of medicine bottles and like or whatever, like supplements. And I was like, it's something with that he's made some sort of weird concrete poop.
Yeah.
And then needs to do some Kegels or whatever as well and strengthen his butthole.
Do guys do Kegels?
He should. Your butthole always needs to be stronger than your strongest turd. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I think there's one thing. Then that's, you need a strong butthole. I didn't realize that men could do Kegels. Now I'm doing butt Kegels. Am I doing butt Kegels right now? Do you do Kegels?
I haven't, but I'm trying.
It's also really weird just to isolate that one part of your body. I'll ask another question here, and we'll wrap this up quite soon. I do an hour podcast. I'm not Joe Rogan. I like to keep it tight. Did your parents ever say weird things to you growing up with your Irish background?
My a nun one time really scared me by talking about how newborn babies sometimes you have to pull out like hundreds of feet of phlegm or something. It was like a image that I couldn't get out of my mind. And then anytime I had like a runny nose or felt like I was like, I'm gonna suffocate like the babies.
Oh my God.
There was some really disturbing image she told us in 4th grade that messed me up for a little while.
Yeah, that's really gross.
Yeah, it was
Pulling
really upsetting.
it out like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think they just do like a little squeezy thing, you know, but she had this image of having to pull, and she's like, and there's only moments to do it before they suffocate and die. Now,
I've never heard that
school's
before.
over. I know, I don't think it's right.
My God.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
I think my parents were like, my mom has a lot of like stomach issues as well. So that's in the family. It wasn't them telling us a crazy thing. I just was like, oh, that's a thing I'm going to have. She a lot of ulcers and she now is down to just like eating a bowl of oatmeal every day. And she's like, it's all I can't have spice or salt anymore or whatever.
That's it. One bowl a day.
I mean, she has other food, but it really, she's like, I can't do coffee anymore. My stomach will explode.
Just completely.
Yeah.
I wonder where you get this from.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember crazy things. I was already anxious about everything, so they didn't have to wind it up.
Yeah, but your parents anxious? Mine weren't. I don't know why I'm like this.
Yours were.
They
real
weren't.
chill
They weren't. Yeah. Like I realized, I was at my friend's house the other day, and they are so paranoid about everything their kids do. It was, don't do that, grab that, don't do that. And I was like, my parents were not like that. They're like, all right, see you in half an hour. And I just be biking and I'm like an idiot nails in the backyard. Like they don't
Go
give a
play.
shit.
We did. I mean, mine. My mom, I think, was high strung, but we did. As 80s kids, just open the back door and go,
Yeah,
which is
roam around.
crazy.
That's it. Yeah.
All over the neighborhood. You'd get back at dinner, they wouldn't even say like, "Where were you today?
Nobody cares.
Were you molested?"
Yeah.
Actually, she did. One time when I was about 30, we were all eating dinner, and she said, "Were you ever molested by a priest?"
Oh my God.
If
It's
I
a little
was, I don't
late.
want to talk about it now. Yeah.
It's a little late.
And he got it. Yeah, he got away with it and got to die of old age if he did. But I hadn't.
He always asked for men to massage him.
Yeah, for sure.
Young men. He's like, is there a young boy?
Do you have any like trainee, like 12-year-olds?
The funniest way that you could die.
Okay, last question of the podcast. What do you think the funniest way you can die is?
Funniest way.
Personal to you.
Yeah. I think I could see I don't have a fear of roller coasters, but I have a fear of heights, and so I'm always afraid that a roller coaster will stall, and you see those little steps, and you're like, you would have to go down those fucking steps. That seems horrible to me. I don't mind if I'm strapped in, you can flip me around and over, but if they were like, you have to get out now and crawl down these little metal thin steps, I think I would not be able to do it, and then I would die. I would starve on top of a
roller coaster. And that's it.
Just kind of holding on really tight to the. My palms are sweating thinking about it.
My palms are sweating thinking about that too. I don't like. I think I'm scared of heights now. I was on a roof for the 4th of July, and this guy was like sitting on the thing, and I was like, and I got like fucked up. I can't look over the edge and stuff now. We had to be back.
Yeah, and mine is getting worse as I get older.
Yes.
But that's a fear. I have a recurring nightmare that my dog jumps off a roof at a roof party, because I heard a dog jumped at a bird once. Could be an urban legend, but in my dream it happens, and I don't wake up until I'm on the elevator ride down. Like I'm dealing with it, and I have to go get his body now. And I wait for an elevator still in the dream. I'm like, it should end as he goes over the
Why are you still dreaming of going down? I literally had a dream, like I think I talked about a month ago. Bugsy, this dog I don't even know, I was walking my dog, and there was like a balcony in like Silver Lake, and I was like, oh my god, look at this cute dog, and it was like a boxer, and I'm like, Bugsy starts barking. I'm like, oh, Bugsy's gonna jump off the edge. Bugsy jumped and died in front of me. I don't know who this dog is, and I watched the dog die, and that image, I can't, because my dog is stupid. I almost jumped off a balcony once. It was only a 2-story, but she would have died. She's an idiot, so I don't have her going near balconies now.
Yeah.
But I don't know, that's a sick, what kind of dog do you have?
Wow. He's a mutt. He's looks like Benji, but he's
Benji.
like 10 different things. I was walking him like a year ago, and a squirrel fell out of a palm tree directly in front of us and onto the sidewalk, whack, and one of its legs went beep, 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 and then it was dead.
Was it bleeding?
No.
Okay.
I didn't see any blood. It
What was your
the
dog doing?
most
Like-
upsetting thing. He was like sniffing, and I was like, we gotta walk around this now. And then I like drove later on to go look, and it had been picked up. I mean, I guess I should have picked it up, but I was like, it was so. I also was like, they fall?
Yeah, what the hell is this girl's problem? It was checking to see if it had a slip disc, and it was like, whoa, and then it just fell out of the tree. Oh my God, that's terrifying. Well, now I'm going to have that image in my head forever. Thank you for doing the podcast. Where can everybody find you? Where can they locate your shows and stuff?
I usually post too much about it on my Instagram, Mike O'Brien 12345.
Cool name. cool handle.
Yeah, I know it should be 69 or whatever. But also I've got a podcast coming out on all things comedy.
Same as this.
Yeah, in August, me and my friend Brad Morris have a podcast with lots of fun guests. It's called Business Trips.
Love it.
Coming out in a little over a month.
Great. That'll be out by the time this comes out.
Great.
Thank you so much for coming on here.
Thanks for having me. It's so fun.
Good. Keep sending in your... Good. That is fun. Keep sending your stories. Thanks for sending in, Pamela. I want to read more. Bye.